So about 9 months ago, I upgraded my main monitor to this, a 49-inch 144Hz OLED super ultra-wide from MSI, and it's been really good. So good in fact that I don't think I'd want to switch to anything else.
Which is why I've got the perfect upgrade. Look, it's the same monitor, although this one has an X on it. It's better.
This is the MPG491CQP-X, which now has a 240Hz refresh rate, so RuneScape is going to look even more smooth.
Now, obviously I'm not going to make a whole video just to swap out a monitor with a higher refresh rate version. That would be boring. However, I did want to use this opportunity to talk about the monitor and super ultra-wide OLED gaming in general, now that I've had the chance to daily drive one long term.
By the way, shout out to MSI for sending this out, and before you say, Josh, you don't need 2 OLEDs, no I don't, which is why I'm going to be giving away my current monitor to one of you. More details on that later in the video. Let's unbox this thing.
So the last time I unboxed one of these, it came in an ugly brown cardboard box. I think it was like a pre-production model. As you can see, the retail packaging is much nicer.
Thankfully, the box is much smaller too, due to it not arriving pre-assembled, although that means of course we do have to put together the stand. By the way, you should probably get a second person to help you unbox this thing.
Don't try this at home. I did it! Look at that. That is 49 inches of QD-OLED goodness right there. Now, I'm not going to actually be using the stand because I'm going to be putting it on an arm, but I will attach it for demonstration purposes.
Again, please be careful not to drop your brand new monitor.
Off you go, box. Yeah, so you got plenty of adjustability. You have up and down, you have swivel from side to side. There's actually quite a decent angle on that, and you can also tilt it up and down as well.
Now, MSI must have heard that I prefer to have my monitor on an arm because they sent out this. I didn't even know that MSI made monitor arms. I'm currently using the heavy-duty Magnus arm from Secret Lab, which is great, but it costs $350. So when I found out that this one can be had for as little as $80 or around $100 if you want RGB, I was quite excited to test it out. The verdict? It's fantastic. Solid build quality, plenty of adjustability, and it even has RGB.
Now, in case you didn't see the video that I did on the first monitor, we should probably go over the updated specs.
So this is using a 49-inch QD-OLED panel at a resolution of 5120 by 1440. Of course, this is combined with that now higher refresh rate of 240Hz, and we still get a crazy fast response time of 0.03 milliseconds. Other features include VESA certified True Black Display HDR, a built-in KVM switch, as well as 98-watt USB Type-C power delivery so that you can fast charge a phone or tablet. And we also have OLED Care 2.0 built in to reduce the risk of burn-in.
Now, if you're new to OLED gaming, there's actually 2 types of OLED panels on the market, WOLED and QD-OLED, which is what this is.
Now, while WOLEDs tend to be cheaper because the technology's been around for longer, if you're looking for the best possible picture quality, QD-OLED is definitely the way to go. You get better perceived brightness, a wider color gamut with more accurate colors, and lower surface temps, which lowers the risk of burn-in compared to older style panels. A lot of this is due to WOLEDs relying on a color filter to convert white light into RGB, whereas QD-OLED uses quantum dots to directly convert blue light into red and green, which is why you tend to get better brightness and color efficiency. But yeah, it's just something to bear in mind if you're shopping for an OLED.
By the way, if you want a chance to win the other monitor, model name on screen, we do have a giveaway running live on Instagram at the moment, so I'll put the links down below. Make sure you go and enter. And also follow as well, because we have a bunch more giveaways coming up in December.
Right, so now that we've got it installed, let's talk about my experience with using a 49-inch OLED over the past 9 months. And for reference, before this, I'd pretty much exclusively used a 34-inch ultra-wide as my main monitor for the past 3 or 4 years.
We'll start with productivity. So one of the things that I used to do a lot when I had a regular ultra-wide is browse the web in full screen. You can't do that on a 49-inch ultra-wide, it just looks ridiculous, as you can see. Instead, it's better to think of it more as having 2 27-inch monitors stuck together with no bezel in the middle. Once you start to do that, things make a lot more sense. So I have a 16:9 window here, and as you can see, on the right and the left, I have 50% of the remaining screen real estate for other applications. And this setup just works really well. You can multitask easily, and yeah, it just makes the most of having such a big screen.
Obviously, I do a lot of editing as well, so being able to have all that extra width for things like the timeline in Premiere Pro is very handy, and it's all on a single monitor, which aesthetically looks very clean.
Now, despite it being great for productivity, gaming is where this thing really shines, especially if you're someone who values immersion. I play a lot of games like Cyberpunk and Star Citizen, so as you can imagine, a monitor like this with insane black levels and crazy colors and that super wide aspect ratio and curve, yeah, really makes for an immersive experience. I think visually, nothing comes close to a QD-OLED like this.
Now, the aspect ratio is one of those things that you get used to very quickly. I personally couldn't see myself going back to a regular ultrawide now, even less a 16:9 monitor. I know some people feel like it's cramped height-wise, but I mean, it's basically a 27-inch monitor with extra bits on the side, so you're not really losing anything, and that extra width is essentially what creates the immersion in the first place.
Compatibility has also been a non-issue for me. I don't think I've come across any games that don't support 32:9 straight out the box. I'm not saying that they don't exist, it's just the games I've played have worked fine. In terms of whether or not I think you can transition from a dual monitor setup to a single ultrawide, I think there's pros and cons to both. I have personally quite liked having a single monitor, just because of the fact that when I'm gaming, I don't have a second monitor to distract me. Same goes for work and productivity as well. I can just focus on what I'm doing. That said, I do sometimes wish that I had an extra monitor up top, just so I could have a few plugins available for like video editing. But yeah, most of the time, I feel like this is plenty enough screen real estate.
Now you might be thinking, well, what's the point in having the newly upgraded 240Hz Super Ultrawide if it's 1, difficult to run at this resolution, and 2, Super Ultrawide isn't intended for competitive FPS anyways?
In regards to the first point, I think a lot of it is just about future-proofing. I mean, I've got an RTX 4090. There's plenty of games that will run at 240Hz at this resolution already, and as more powerful GPUs get released over the years, that base frame rate I think will only creep up. And secondly, don't forget, if you're playing competitive FPS titles, you can run this thing at 21:9 or 16:9 aspect ratio, which you might be thinking, well, yeah, but then I have black bars, which is true. However, the best part about having a QD-OLED is that all the pixels physically turn off. So if you turn off all of the lights in your room and you just have the monitor on, you won't even be able to notice those black bars. They just kind of like blend into the background and it looks like you're playing on a regular monitor.
So yeah, I can definitely see the use of having 240Hz as an option, and I mean, you can tell the difference even just from a regular desktop user experience as well. It is incredibly smooth.
So should you buy a 49-inch QD-OLED Super Ultrawide? I think you should, assuming you've got $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket. Like I said, if you're just after a single monitor setup, I don't think anything beats it, in my opinion. It's great for productivity, and if you're someone who's after maximum immersion, I think this is it.
That said, if you're super into competitive FPS, you might be better looking elsewhere if you can't deal with the black bars, but other than that, I think it's fantastic.
If you want to check out the new monitor, I'll have the links down below in the description. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more, and I'll catch you all in the next one.